till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Hello, hello. How are we all doing? Good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to the first live stream in a while. I think this is the first one I've done since the Sky overhaul, and we're talking like January since then. So that's nice. Hopefully all goes well. Got some new graphics. Hopefully you like them. And some beautiful no copyright music in the background as well, which is going to be fantastic. Your typical stuff. But yeah, plan for today, really just looking to make a first draft. I've tried to stay away from making a team so far, so this is what we're at right now. I've basically not touched it. I've barely looked at prices apart from the spreadsheet, which, if you've seen the tweet of all the threads, they're the only prices I've looked at. Other than that, I've not really looked at it too much. And then we've got a couple of spreadsheet stuff set up. We've got a fixture ticker set up, and we will look at some possible chip strategies we can look at. Obviously, you get a Limitless chip and you get a Wildcard chip, and we'll explain that throughout if anyone doesn't know what that is. Let's have a look at the chat, shall we? Jedi, good evening. Good evening. Hi Bobby, looking forward to your Euro content, although I have a team in mind, except I'm unsure whether to go for Havertz or Fulkrug. Who would you prefer? I'd definitely be looking at Havertz, I think, with that one. I don't think Fulkrug is going to be starting. I think Havertz is the preferred striker, at least so far. Obviously, we can see what happens with the friendlies building up to the Euros, but yeah, Havertz definitely looks like the one to go for. Can't wait for Euro Fantasy. Put a terrible Sky season behind me. Yeah, same, to be honest. I think I ended up finishing about 830 something, which I was really happy with, to be honest. You know, a couple months ago I was sitting like 7k in the world, and quite happy with the finish. I did just really want a top 1k finish at the minimum, so that was pretty nice. Eunice, hello, how are you? Right, let's have a look. So I do have the spreadsheet available, which is right here. And this is what we're kind of planning. So we've got, obviously, if you've not seen this, this is kind of all of the stuff that you can find on the Twitter thread. It's kind of just a look at all of the teams, a predicted lineup which I put together after looking into some things. Kind of got the team form in here, with how they got on in the qualifiers, the Nations League, the World Cup, and the Euros. We've got the penalty, free kick, and corner takers in here. Ball recoveries for the club stats. So, for example, Xhaka obviously playing for Leverkusen. This is how he got on in the league. This is how he got on in the European competition, which have been in the Europa League. And then we've got the ball recoveries for each of the players in their national teams. Unfortunately, it wasn't available for the Euros and the World Cup. I did use SofaScore for this because the actual UEFA website doesn't actually supply the ball recoveries, which is not ideal. But I generally think UEFA do just make it up along the way as they do it. But this is probably the closest we'll get to it, because I have noticed. I think it was with the UCL Fantasy one when I was looking at Hummels. His ball recovery stats were slightly different to what they were on the UCL Fantasy app, but not like enough to the point where it was like a massive difference. So it's kind of just to get a decent idea of who we've got in here. We've also got the play time and the qualifying as well, which is nice. So again, we've got the predicted 11 here, how many starts they got out of all the games, and their minutes per game in the games that they did play. And then we've got kind of the rest of the squad, players who will probably be called up, but might not make the starting 11. So then we've got the goals and the qualifiers, the goals in the Nations League, the Euros, World Cup, and obviously the assists as well. So that is that for every single team. If you want to have a look at all of them, make sure to head over to my Twitter. The link's in the description, and you can have a good scroll through everything, maybe bookmark it for later on and do that. So today we've got the fixture ticker, which is now prepared. So this is how we're going to decide what kind of team we're going for. Instantly I'm looking at this Belgium one and thinking that's going to be fantastic. So Lukaku is definitely going to be one of the names straight away in my team. Anyone else with a decent one? That's where Portugal look pretty good as well, because even though Czech Republic are down as that, well, I suppose like it's fair that they're down as a green fixture, I don't think Czech Republic are really looking that great at all. If you've seen it on the stat sheets, I think the majority of their big players haven't really had game time at all this season. For one, Czech Republic, and two, for their respective teams. So like Krau's playing for Union Berlin and has really only started about 15 games, so really only half the season. Schick hasn't really been playing too much for Leverkusen. Hlozek the same. I think he plays for Leverkusen, it might be Wolfsburg. But again, he's not really been playing too much. So I don't think Czech Republic are really going to be too great. You can see with the defence as well, it just isn't fantastic. So in my opinion, I think Czech Republic aren't going to be that great at all. So this could be a really nice fixture for Portugal. Then we've obviously got Turkey and Georgia in there as well. So Portugal is going to be one that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. Belgium the same. Ukraine could be decent. Two decent fixtures in there, and they do look pretty good based on their team. They've also got Dovbyk and Siganov from Girona, who are playing really well this season, so definitely have an interest in them as well. This group I might just have to totally avoid. There was a couple of Spain players that looked pretty decent, but like looking at this, it just looks like a total group of death, similar to this one here. But I think players like Mbappe and stuff are kind of, you would consider them fixture proof. So definitely will be looking there. I think Holland could be okay as well. We'll look into them a bit further on. And obviously England as well. A couple of the England players will be considering as well. I'm wearing the new Portugal kit. I forgot to mention that. I got the new Portugal kit for the Euros. Probably the nicest one, I think, out of them all. I did have a good look through them all. I got the Scotland away for obvious reasons, and I got the Portugal home. So Scotland away is still in the wash, so we're wearing the Portugal one today, which I definitely think is the nicest one. I don't know if I'm showing it properly. Definitely the nicest kit in my opinion in the Euros. The France one was okay, not the home kit. I thought the home kit was disgusting, but the away kit was okay. But a lot of very similar kits I thought this year, like the Denmark one's similar to the Austria one, which the Czech Republic one. It's like they've all went for red and white, and they all look pretty much exactly the same. Turkey as well, Georgia as well, all basically red and white kits, so there wasn't too much selection going on. What do you think about the third striker? I want to choose a differential like Mitrovic, Sesko or Morata. Mitrovic, let's see, what's the Serbian fixtures like straight away? So they've got England first, maybe wouldn't look at Mitrovic straight away. I think that could be quite a tough one. Sesko, Slovenia, where's Slovenia? Is Sesko Slovenia? I think Sesko's Slovenia, it could be Slovakia. Let me have a look. Sesko is Slovenia, I believe. Wherever. There we go. Yeah, so Sesko plays for Slovenia. Who have they got? Where is Slovenia? Denmark first, Serbia second. That could be a decent one. Sesko could be pretty good, obviously on penalties as well. How much is? I need to check how much he is. I'll do that when we're looking at the team. But I quite like Sesko. He looks like a pretty decent option. And then Morata obviously always does pretty well for Spain, but it's some pretty difficult fixtures. I'd maybe look at Morata for match day 3, if you wanted to go there. Yeah, it really did take a while with the thread. I think we're talking like 4 days, maybe a bit longer than that. But I looked at my screen time on my iPhone and it was literally like 12 hours or so for score and 2 or 3 hours of FUT mob as well. So it a lot of time, but I kind of wanted to do it for myself, even though it was obviously for Twitter. But I think it's just a good idea to get a good view of everything there is in the Euros. Making this spreadsheet available for everyone. I might do it. I don't actually know how to do that, but I can look into it, and I'll see about getting that out. Can you talk about the best goalkeepers to choose? I will, as soon as we have like more of a look into the fixtures and stuff. So later on we'll look at the goalies and that. So obviously we're here for a match day 1 team. So who are we wanting to target? I think I've got this here. So target fixtures. Who has the easiest fixtures is what we're going to be looking at. Unfortunately, Germany probably do have a fairly easy fixture. Although I do think we could put up a decent fight. Obviously, it's the first day. I'm predicting a 1-1 draw, but on paper it's still a pretty easy fixture for Germany. So we're gonna add Germany in here. Germany. Let me fix all this as well. Germany, and they'll play Scotland. That is green. Make all these grey. This is kind of how I fix, like, well, this is how I kind of do it for everything. Like UCL Fantasy, it was the same. Just kind of, this I don't know. For me, the spreadsheets are just the easiest way to look at things. Control V, right. So Germany with an easy fixture. Italy, of course. Italy could be a good one with Albania in the first round. Who's the best German? Well, so originally I had thought that Jorginho was like a very, very good option. I seen he was only 5 million, which is one of the cheapest midfielders in the game, and assuming he was on penalties, but someone corrected me in the comments and showed that as of November that Jorginho was off the penalties, so doesn't look like he's going to be that good an option anymore. I'll try and find him wherever there's Italy there. So yeah, originally I had Jorginho in here. I think he still will start. He is, from what I've seen, a lot of the like Italians and stuff do still predict him to start. 3 out of 8 in the qualifiers, but only 5 million. It does look pretty good for the ball recovery still. Top for Italy in the qualifiers and the Nations League. So you're talking an extra 2-3 points there per game for ball recoveries. If he was still in the penalties, that would have been great. I've got this here. I think it was so rare that posted the penalty takers, the set piece takers. So they've got Jorginho first, and then they had Immobile in second. Obviously Immobile isn't looking like he's going to be starting in the Euros. It's very likely to be Raspadori or Scamacca. And if Jorginho's taken off the penalties, then I'm not actually sure who does take the penalties in that team. I'd imagine it'd probably just be whoever's the striker at that point. I don't know if Berardi's any good at them as well, but it kind of does take the appeal away from Jorginho, which is quite unfortunate. So I don't know if I'll be looking at him as much. We've got Denmark with Slovenia as well, which is a good fixture. So Denmark, Slovenia. Was that a dark green? That was a dark green. And then Holland with Poland. I'm just gonna put that with Poland as a nice light green fixture in there. Ukraine, Belgium and Romania. So everyone kind of has an easy fixture against each other here by the looks of things. I think Belgium could absolutely romp this group, although Belgium don't really look that great themselves. It's still a very, very easy group on paper. If I can find them. There we are. So I've got it down as a 4-back. It's also potential that it could be a 5-back. I think the other option was these guys. Well, Vertonghen, Face, and Thiat. I want to say them being the 3 centre backs. Castagne is the right wing back. Doku dropping to the left wing back, and then it would be De Bruyne, Tielemans in the middle with Trossard, Lukaku, and potentially Bakayoko. I think that right wing spot is kind of open though, so that could be Luka Bakio. Openda could also play at right wing as well. I would probably put my money on Bakayoko there if this was to happen, but I think the 4 at the back does look like the most obvious option, and that gives Onana a spot as well and at DM. So pretty decent for Belgium, I think. Looking at the entire fixtures, I think the standout ones there is going to obviously be Lukaku. I think Lukaku will probably be the first name that I put in my draft, to be honest, because 14 goals in the qualifiers. I think, again though, I think Belgium did have a pretty easy qualifying group, but still 14 goals is mental. Obviously top goal scorer at the last Euros as well. I don't think he really played too many Nations League games. If I could be wrong on that, but I don't think he did. Obviously the Euro qualifiers being the main one there. So Lukaku is definitely going to be one of them, and I'd probably just keep him throughout all 3. But at the same time, with the chip strategies, you're probably going to want to use both the chips in the first 3 match days. Limitless, obviously, getting basically a free hit with an unlimited budget. And then the Wildcard, obviously getting the normal budget, but unlimited transfers. But you get unlimited transfers after match day 3 anyway. I'm pretty sure anyway. I've not actually looked at the rules properly, but I imagine you'll get unlimited transfers before the round of 16. So the wild card really doesn't matter too much. You can't obviously use a chip in match day 1, so it's really just, are you going to use the Limitless in match day 2 or 3, and are you going to use the wild card in match day 2 or 3? I think the reason for that obviously is because as the later stages come in, it's harder fixtures, players aren't going to get as many points, and there's obviously less games as well, so everyone kind of has the same team. If you play UCL Fantasy, you'll know this obviously, but everyone kind of has the same team later on as the stages progress, so there's really no point in using a Limitless, because, for example, if someone saved the Limitless for the final, they would have pretty much the exact same team as me heading into the final anyway, so it's a bit of a waste of a chip. So definitely in the group stage is usually what tends to be the strategy. So even if you do have Lukaku for the first game, it doesn't really matter for the other ones, because you're probably going to use a chip here anyway, and maybe you'll bring Lukaku in, but again, it doesn't really matter too much. So when you are making your draft, it is all match day 1 pretty much, because most of us are going to be using the chips in match day 2 and 3. And I've totally forgot to write the stuff in here. So we've got Ukraine, who are playing against Romania. What do I think about Trossard? I think Trossard could be a pretty good one. Obviously playing at left wing, pretty decent form for Arsenal. Doesn't look to be starting for Arsenal now. Think he will start for Belgium. Pretty decent qualifying results, pretty decent Nation League results. I think he could be pretty decent. I don't actually know how much he is. Again, we'll check as we look at the team properly. In fact, let's jump onto that now. Let's have a look at some players. So for Belgium, we're probably going to take 3 Belgians. So Lukaku's probably going to be the first one. Trossard is a bit expensive, 8 million. I don't know how much that is compared to everybody else. Yeah, so Trossard actually is one of the more expensive players in the game. Let's look specifically at midfielders. What, the 7th most expensive midfielder? De Bruyne, I don't know about De Bruyne. I don't think he's been amazing in the qualifiers or anything like that. I don't know, we'll see. I think you could maybe use money elsewhere though. Trossard could be a pretty good one, but he is a bit expensive. What else have we got? We've got, so Bakayoko's 7. If Bakayoko was to start, again I don't know if he will. Doku's 7 as well though, so we'd maybe look at Doku instead of Trossard for that million. Obviously, if got the budget available, I think Trossard's probably the second best option up front, at least. or well, at least out of the wingers. But I think Doku could be okay. Obviously, we'll get more info on the friendlies and stuff as well. Who else is there? Onana's only 6 million as well. We've seen with the ball recoveries, he was pretty decent with that. So Onana could be a pretty decent one at 6 mil. Because he's the same price as a lot of players that just don't have a sniff. For example, like Vermeeren's nowhere in the team. So that could be a decent one. The background music's not too loud, is it? I don't want to be blaring your ears with music. I don't think it should be too bad. If it's too loud, let me know in the chat though. Because obviously this is my first time using music, so I don't want to be killing everyone's ears. Right, let's back onto this. So, fix that. So Romania is a green fixture in there. Belgium with Slovakia. Romania with Ukraine. Don't know if I touch any Romanians though, to be honest. Don't think any of them really look amazingly great. That's just a normal green fixture. Portugal with Czech Republic. Again, probably going to go for 3 Portugal players. So I think off the bat, you're talking 3 Belgians, 3 Portuguese. Who was it they were playing against? I've totally forgot. Ukraine. But then I don't think Ukraine's going to be like a... Wait. Is it Ukraine? Romania, play Ukraine. No, Belgium, Slovakia. Oh, geez, right. Oh no, I'm looking at Portugal. Where am I? Right, Czech Republic. There you go. Czech. I'm hearing Czech Republic's renamed themselves to Czechia. Can someone confirm that? Am I going to discuss chips and stuff? Yeah, we're going to look into it. We're going to have a look at some chip strategies. Is the chips the same as UCL Fantasy? Yes, it will be. Also, am I too bright? I don't want to be killing. Should we choose? Who should we choose from Germany? Who should we choose from Germany? Do you know? I think this Mittelstadt could be some pick. I think if he plays the friendlies before the Euros, I'd be putting him straight in, because you're talking the cheapest midfielder, in the game. Defender in the game. Doesn't really like chip in with like goals and assists and stuff. Obviously, Germany never had qualifiers, so we can't really look at that too much. But if he's starting, I'd definitely be going for him, because he could be a real budget saver. Obviously, I think the only threat could be Rom. But Rom's not started in any of the last 10 matches for Germany, so I don't know if he just gets chucked in for the Euros like that. So for me, I think Mittelstadt is probably the best one. I also think Gundogan, I'd probably have him, even though, like, obviously, so I've got, if you look at the predicted lineup, so I've been corrected that Neuer is going to be the starting goalkeeper over Ter Stegen, and Musiala is definitely going to be starting over Sané. So you're talking Sané on the bench for Gundogan. Personally, I would have just played Sané over Gundogan, but the fact that Gundogan is now the captain and basically plays like every game for Germany, I don't see him getting dropped. And I think if you were to drop Gundogan back beside Kroos, it's just not really a defensive enough team. I think Kroos and Gundogan are kind of just like the same kind of player. So Gundogan's definitely going to be playing cam for me. Obviously on penalties as well, which you can see there. And I don't know how is he for. He's not bad for ball recoveries, I suppose, for Barca. He's in the top 5, and he's up there for the Nations League as well. So Mittelstadt, Gundogan, probably the 2 I would have. Maybe just have to go with one of the attacking guys. How have they been in the Nations League? So Kimmich has 2 goals and an assist. Maybe Kimmich as well. Although I think he is listed as a midfielder, and he is going to probably be playing in defence. So it depends if you want to go that route. Wirtz could have an amazing tournament. Yeah, also another option. I think he just got player of the season in the Bundesliga as well. So he could be a pretty decent one. I don't think he's that expensive either. I think Musiala is a bit more expensive than him. What format is this? This is for Euro Fantasy. It's on the UEFA gaming app. Yeah, let's have a look at some more. So Portugal, Czech Republic, and then Turkey are playing Georgia. Again, I don't think, even though this is a fantastic fixture, I don't think Turkey are really going to be one to look at too much. Wherever Turkey is there any real standout players? Like Çalhanoğlu, actually. Çalhanoğlu is probably a pretty good one to go for. Obviously on all of the set pieces, pretty decent for ball recoveries. He is in the top 5 for everything, and he definitely nailed. Definitely going to be starting in midfield. So Çalhanoğlu for Turkey, might have to put him in as well. But I think that's it for green fixtures for match day 1. So what do we think? I don't think I would go for 3 Germany players, to be honest. Maybe that's bias, but I might just go for 2. Mittelstadt if he starts, and possibly Gundogan, I think would be my 2 picks. Italy, let's have another look at Italy, because I definitely would want an Italy player against Albania. Hold on, let's jump over here. So Lukaku's definitely going to be my team. So let's have a look at Germany. Start building a team. So how much is Wirtz? Wirtz is only 7.5. Havertz is a striker. I was kind of hoping he would be a midfielder. Gundogan, 7 mil is pretty damn good as well. Neuer's very expensive. Wow. 6 million goalkeeper. I didn't think it could be that high. I wish Hummels was in this team. I would have so picked him. He's literally like, if you play UCL Fantasy, you know how good he is for ball recoveries. I can't believe he's not actually been picked. Right, let's find Mittelstadt. So Mittelstadt, 4 million, stuck in there. And then I'll go for Gundogan as well. Gundogan. There we go. Right, first 3 players. And who else have we got? So Italy. Right, let's have a look at the Italy team. I definitely want one of the fullbacks. Maybe even both the fullbacks. How's Italy defensively? The qualifiers, they conceded 9. Obviously, it's not too much to go for because a lot of teams do rest and rotate in the qualifiers, especially once they're qualified. But I think Italy left it down to the wire, didn't they? That was the draw with Ukraine in the last match. So I suppose can't really say they would have been resting anyone. Might take a punt on Kvaratskhelia. How's the fixtures for Georgia? Against Turkey in the first day, it's not a bad shout. Don't mind that. The other strikers are Mbappe and Kane. Probably. Maybe Ronaldo though. Ronaldo against Czech Republic. Lukaku. Wouldn't go on Netherlands one. Maybe Ronaldo. Mbappe against Austria is a must. Kane against Serbia is probably a must as well. So yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I really like the fullbacks here. Di Lorenzo, DeMarco. Who'd I prefer though? Di Lorenzo is always good for like UCL Fantasy. DeMarco's the same though. But is that because DeMarco plays as a wing back? Obviously, Di Lorenzo plays as a right back, the same he will in the Italy team, as he does for Napoli. But DeMarco plays in a 5-back for Inter. So maybe Di Lorenzo. I think Di Lorenzo is a bit more expensive than. I think Di Lorenzo's a bit more expensive than DeMarco is. 5 million for DeMarco, 5.5 for Di Lorenzo. I'll stick Di Lorenzo in the now. I think I'm quite happy to go with him. Jorginho's still tempting. Like, look at that price. He's literally cheaper than half these players that aren't going to be anywhere near the team. Selected by 8%. I don't think there's really any standout players for Italy, which kind of sucks. I'm probably not going to pick a forward. One, I don't know who's going to start between Raspadori and Scamacca. I'm backing Raspadori, but could easily be Scamacca. Similar with where is Berardi? Oh, is Berardi a midfielder? Oh no, Berardi's not in the game. Fantastic. Is that right? Is Berardi not here? No, I don't think Berardi's been added. Great. Well, I don't know how he is, unless he's been secretly listed as a defender, which he hasn't. Yeah, so it doesn't look like Berardi's in it, so we'll not be going for him then. Okay. Cool. How many times have I put Scott McTominay in my team? My team was just the Scotland team before this stream started. I lied when I said that I hadn't touched the game. I know you're only allowed 3 players, but I just edited them in. Don't blame me. Definitely putting McGinn in my team though. 100%. I don't know. I just don't think the Italy team looks that great. Even though they've got Albania in the first round, they just don't look that great. Barella on the free kicks. How's Barella for? 4.4. Not really great for ball recoveries. Not really scored. 3 assists in the qualifiers, so maybe an option. 2 assists in the Euros, and you're talking like 3 years ago though with the Euros and the World Cup stats. So I don't really think you can consider it too highly. I think I'm just gonna leave Italy for now. Stick Di Lorenzo in there, possibly put DeMarco in later on, depending on how that's looking. Denmark, do I want any Denmark players playing against Slovenia? Where is Denmark? Højlund, probably not going to use up a striker spot for Højlund, to be honest. Eriksen, possibly. Berardi's injured, right? Okay, so Berardi, is he injured? I thought I'd looked at him. That's annoying. So Politano's probably going to be starting then at the right wing. Politano at right wing then. What about Frimpong and Grimaldo? See, right, so where can I find? So I didn't include them in the starting 11. Grimaldo because, while I was looking at stuff, trying to find like predicted lineups and info and stuff, someone did have Grimaldo in their team, and they were like, "There's absolutely no way that Grimaldo plays at left back with Carvajal at right back, because it's just a totally uneven set of fullbacks." Which is another reason why I don't have Porro in there. But to be fair, Carvajal just outclasses Porro a bit more. So I've went for Gaia. Plus Gaia's played a lot more matches than Grimaldo has for Spain. I'd love to see Grimaldo play though, because Grimaldo in UCL Fantasy has always been brilliant. Obviously that wasn't in it this year, but last year he was fantastic. And I think when you consider like Grimaldo crossing balls into Morata, that's assisting goals like all over the place. So hopefully Grimaldo starts. If he starts in the friendlies, I'll probably go for him. Obviously it says he's on the free kicks and the corners as well, so if Grimaldo plays, I'll definitely go for him. But I just don't know if I can see it happening. Frimpong, where is Holland? The Netherlands. Frimpong again hasn't really played too much for Holland. And I think Dumfries, you're talking like Dumfries is one of Holland's best players half the time. 5 assists in the qualifiers. I just don't think he gets dropped. I think you probably see him get subbed quite often, which may not make Dumfries as good an option, because if he comes off before the 60th minute, then obviously you're not getting like clean sheet points and stuff. I think Frimpong will definitely get game time, but I don't know if Dumfries gets dropped, to be honest. Maatsen in here again is another one I'd love to see starting, but I don't know if, like, why would you play Blind at left wing back is my thoughts here. He's the only other option, and Maatsen's having a fantastic season. So I think Maatsen definitely deserves to be playing over Blind, and I think he should get a shot at left wing back. I don't think Frimpong can play left wing back. I'm not sure. I don't think he can. So I definitely... Maatsen's only 4.5 million as well, which is a pretty decent one. Maatsen's nailed. No, I don't think Maatsen is nailed, to be honest. I've just kind of got him there because I don't think he plays. I don't think, like, Blind easily could play at left wing back, but I just don't think it's a good idea. And obviously Maatsen's having a really good season, so that's why I've got him in there. But I wouldn't say he's nailed, no. Anyway, we were looking at Danish players, weren't we? Totally went off track. Where is Denmark? Oh, Melee. I should have put him in as soon as the stream started. There's absolutely no way I am not having Melee in this team, because he is the what player, basically. He is continuing it for Atalanta. He's been doing well this season, and obviously has been doing good for Denmark as well. And in the previous Euros, he was easily the star man in the whole tournament. Right, Melee's in. 3 defenders, possibly DeMarco as well, but we're going for Melee. Off of that one. Anyone else in here that's good? Eriksson, penalties, free kicks and corners. Højbjerg's fantastic for ball recoveries, by the way. I just don't know if I would take him. I mean, he scored 2 goals in the qualifiers too. 3 goals in the Euros. Is Højbjerg an option? Question mark. But then he's not really been playing for Spurs though, so does he get dropped? But I don't think so. He has, how many games? He's played 9 out of 10 in the qualifiers. Yeah, he's not getting dropped. Højbjerg could be a pretty decent one. He does kind of play like a bit further forward than he does for Spurs as well. Obviously with Norgard sitting back, it's kind of like Højbjerg kind of like playing in midfield with Eriksson going forward a little bit more. Could be a decent one to consider. Is this a team for week 1 only? It is, because I think the chips are going to be used in match day 2 and 3. So we're just looking at week 1 now, and then we'll look at the chips after. Nah, I'm not really seeing too much other options that I like, really. I don't know if I'd want a Danish defender. Who are they playing? Slovenia. Well, I mean, I've already got Melee, so no, I'm just going to leave it at Melee for now. Holland against Poland. Right, we can go back to Holland. Simmons has obviously been great this season. Another player in UCL Fantasy that's been fantastic. Geertruida, great for ball recoveries, but isn't nailed. I think De Ligt probably plays. I've seen one predicted lineup that had Van de Ven playing over De Ligt, but I don't think that's his position. I think it's Ake or Van de Ven for the left centre back. I don't really think Van de Ven plays in the right centre back spot, even though he's been great this season. I think you're talking Ake or Van de Ven. Van Dijk's nailed, and then you're talking De Ligt or Geertruida for the right centre back. And then obviously Dumfries or Frimpong, and then Maatsen or Blind. I think the whole Dutch team just looks pretty difficult to judge. Like, De Jong hasn't played too often. Someone said he was injured. He's had some injuries this season, but when he is fit, he will play. So I've got him in here, and then Veerman is the other one, but I think that could easily be any of these two guys. Wifer with 4 out of 8, and Reinders with 3 out of 8 as well. And then the front three, I think at least Simmons and Weghorst are nailed in there. Depay and Bergwijn kind of just seem to be falling off a little bit. I've got Depay in there though. Could possibly move Malin playing out wide. I did see a couple of possibilities for that, but I think Gakpo probably plays there. So I think the front three's nailed. Stengs, I'm not really saying too much about Stengs. Gakpo 3 goals, Weghorst 3 goals, 2 striker spots though. I think Gakpo's listed as a forward. Ake and Van Dijk. Do you want Van Dijk? How's Van Dijk for ball recoveries? 5.1, 5.6. He's probably quite expensive though. I think I'd pick Dumfries for now. I think I'll go for Dumfries. I might put Mats in my team. Do you know what? I'm putting Matson in. Matson's gone in here. And if he doesn't play, I'm swapping it to Dumfries. Or Frimpong, depending on who plays. But there's no way I'm picking Blind. I think it'd be stupid to put Blind in left wing back with the form that Matsson's been in so far. Matsson's in. I might put Simmons in as well. How's Simmons? What price is he? 7 million. Same as Gundogan. Veerman on a couple of set pieces. Luke De Jong, I don't know if he gets picked, to be honest. I don't think he did get picked. There's the hold on, I can check that. Netherlands Euro squad. I don't think De Jong got picked. Goalkeepers, defenders. No, Luke De Jong never got picked. So it's Bergwijn, Brobbey, Depay, Gakpo, Malin, Simmons and Weghorst. So no Luke De Jong in the team for Holland. I don't think I'd be using a striker spot for him anyway, even if he was picked. I'm going to stick Simmons in as well. I think the fixture is pretty decent. I think he could do quite well. So we'll put Simmons in for now as well. And then we'll leave that for Holland. Ukraine, I'm going to ignore Ukraine for now. I think Dovpik could be a really good pick if you don't want to go for the three expensive strikers. I think right now I'm set on Lukaku, Kane and Mbappe, but if you want to just do 2 big strikers and 1 cheaper striker, I'd be definitely looking at Dovbik, because if I find the Ukraine, I think I put it in the Twitter thread. I think it's like 24 goals or something he's scored in La Liga this season. 2 in the qualifiers, and 3 in the Nations League on penalties as well. So maybe look at him for a cheaper option. I think he definitely plays over Yaramchuk. I think he could be pretty decent, but I'm not going to touch Ukraine. I don't think there's many Ukraine players that stand out massively. Zinchenko was always a pretty decent one, like the last Euros and stuff, but his ball recoveries aren't like fantastic. Only 4 in the qualifiers, and he's not really chipped in with too many goals, too many assists recently. So I'm not going to look at him. Belgium, right? Let's look at Belgium again, because I've got Lukaku in so far. I might look at Kastanje. I did have him as one to watch in my thread. Obviously 2 assists in there, and then 1 in the Nations League as well, so pretty decent for assists. 4.8 for ball recoveries. I probably wouldn't be relying on that one. Definitely nailed though. 8 out of 8 starts. Don't see anyone at right back. Meunier is probably the only one, and he has been the previous one playing at right back for Belgium. Was really good in the last Euros game, but just seems to be getting a bit old now, not really playing as well. So Kastanje could be a decent one. Why Gundogan Lukaku? Lukaku because he's playing against Slovenia, and he's got the Lukaku because he's playing against Slovenia and he scored 14 goals in the qualifiers. I think he's 100% going to be there for me. Gundogan because I think he's nailed. He's on penalties, pretty decent for ball recoveries. So I'm going to go for that, and he's quite cheap. Any England players? I think I'm going to go for Kane. I will look at it though when we come to when it's England. Oh no, I don't have any England. Oh, alright, we'll look at it after. Bellingham, yeah, pretty decent one. Lunin is a goalkeeper for week 1. That's a shout, although it's dependent on whether he is going to play. Trubin has started 6 in the qualifiers. I do think Lunin is probably, Lunin's had a brilliant season for Real. So I would definitely be tempted. Do you know what? I'm going to stick him in. I think that's a good shout. We are going to go for Lunin as our goalie for now. Or I could go for the Italian. I'll put Lunin in for now. I don't know how much the Italian goalkeeper is. Who? Donnarumma? 6 mil. Yeah, we're not touching a 6 mil goalkeeper. Where is Ukraine? Ukraine 4.5. That's more like it. Right, Lunin's in. Let's go for that. Belgium, right. We're back at Belgium. Am I going to put Castagna in my team? I'm going to keep him on the back burners. I think it could be pretty good, but I'm not going to touch him for now. I do want a second Belgium player though, because I don't want to just go for Lukaku because it's a really nice fixture. I'll leave it for now. We'll come back to it. Romania, I'm not going to touch. Portugal, right, Czech Republic. I want Bruno Fernandes in my team. Where is Portugal? Down the bottom. Bruno Fernandes, 7 assists in qualifiers, 6 goals. Definitely. Cancelo's another one I definitely want to have. Definitely think he'll start right back. Maybe just leave it at that. Czech Republic's not like a super easy fixture. Let's do that. Bruno Fernandes and Cancelo. Bruno, and that's the defence done. So we're not getting DeMarco, we're not getting Castagna yet. Is Castagna, if Castagna is only 4.5, then it's a good. He's 5, right? Maybe I'll keep 0.5 in the bank, in case Maatsen doesn't play. Then I can go for Castagna instead. I think DeMarco's 5 as well, so that's good to know. Right, 5 spots left. Let's have a look. What teams is there? Turkey. Meh. Turkey against Georgia. Oh no. Oh, Çalhanoğlu. Right. Çalhanoğlu I'm picking. And then maybe go for the goalkeeper. Maybe go for the goalkeeper. Are they playing on different days? Let's see. Fixtures. Oh no, they're not. Oh, they do have the dates, right. Are they playing on the date? There's different dates. If Turkey play on the. They do. Might do that then. How much is he? 4.5. Although I like Turkey, I don't think are fantastic defensively. I don't know. Stick him in for now. Try Munir. I don't think Munir is going to be playing, to be honest. Hold on, who's the other player I was going to put in before I go look at that? There's a midfielder, Çalhanoğlu. There you go. Right. Do you know what? Can I get? I'm just going to stick these guys in now. Mbappe, Kane. Leaves me with 5 million for a midfielder. That's enough for Jorginho. Ah! Who is there at 5 million? But the thing is, if I do that, then I can't upgrade Maatsen. Ah, do you know what? There we go. Billy Gilmore. Easy. Hickey's down as a midfielder. I mean, he's not even going to play, but Holes is a midfielder when he's going to be playing centre back. Andrich should be playing. Seiwald, I think he's okay for recoveries. Wiper if he starts. May have to downgrade someone. How about 4 million goalkeepers? Let's take Gunnock back out. Is there no 4 million goalkeepers? No. There's no 4 million goalkeepers. Oh wait. Ah, there we go. Just wasn't letting me do that. Who have we got? Drakowski's not playing. Sellison's not playing. Not playing. Sells. Oh, so if Sells plays over Castells, then we've got a Belgian goalkeeper for 4 million, which would be massive. I don't think he does, but there's definitely potential. I think a lot of Belgians were saying it was a 50-50. So if Sells starts the first 2 friendlies, I'll be putting him in. 4 million goalie. Moldovan is the Romanian goalie against Ukraine though. Yeah. And what day are they playing? 17th. They literally play Ukraine, so it makes no sense to do that. Obviously we want goalkeepers on different days. Anyone else? Pence. I've heard that Schlager for Austria is injured, but do you really want to be going for the Austria goalkeeper against France? Probably not. Stanek, another one who could be playing, but against Portugal again, probably don't want him. Oh, Kovar. I think Kovar is going to be I've got Kovar in my predicted lineup. I think he does play for Czech Republic, but again, he's playing against Portugal, so it's not that great. Oh, it's really difficult here. 4 million keepers. Who has 4.5 million? Georgian goalie against Turkey. Galashi against Switzerland. I don't think he's fully nailed though. Replace Cancelo with Dallo. It's Cancelo though, isn't it? Please tell me which app. It's just UEFA Gaming. If you literally type up Euro Fantasy on Google, it'll come up. If you play Champions League Fantasy, it's the same app. Yeah, everyone seems to be saying Dallo over Cancelo. Let's move that there now then. Saving 1 million. Fantasy code. As soon as this team's done, I'll create a mini league and then I'll get the code posted. It's the Czech government's intention that promoting the name Czechia will reduce confusion for English speakers and also enhance the country's identity and economy. There we go. There's a geography lesson. Is that right? Cool. I quite like the name Czechia a bit more than Czech Republic. Cool, I like it. Good to know. What about Bellingham instead of Kane? I know, I suppose the obvious pick would be to downgrade a striker, save a couple million, but I don't want to do that. Bijlo or Noppert is the Netherlands goalkeeper. I don't think... Is it any of them? I think it's Verbruggen. I think Verbruggen or Flecken looks like the 2 options for Holland, so I don't think that works, unfortunately. Which would have been good if these 2 were starting, but I think it's going to be Verbruggen. Stick him in, maybe? Go for him over the Turkish goalie. So that's 6 million for a defender. Sorry, a midfielder. Don't want a Netherlands one. So who's good? Vitinha, decent. Guler, not nailed. Xhaka's a pretty good option. They've got, I know Xhaka's obviously got a lot of Xhaka's got the free kicks and corners, I'm sure, and has the penalties when Shaqiri's not on the pitch, I want to say. Really good for ball recoveries too. Who else have we got? Onana, Paulinho, Hagi, Duda, Højbjerg. Did mention Højbjerg. And it leaves me with 0.5 in the bank. Let me go for that. Yeah, I think I'll. Do I want to go for Højbjerg? I might go for Højbjerg, to be honest, and just leave it. Any of the 6 million options really too interesting? Not really. Xhaka. Right, you know what? I'm sticking Xhaka in for now, because I don't have to worry about having the 0.5. Right, this is what I'm going for. This is what I'm going to go for my match day 1 team before the squads are even announced. Stick with that. Again, I'd like to get Cancelo over Dallo, so we'll maybe look at rejigging that. But I think I'm going to go for this as my first team. Pretty happy with that. Double Germany. Triple Holland. Who's the fixtures? Let's see. Triple Holland against Poland. Double Germany against Scotland. Only one Italian against Albania, which I would like to maybe get 2 of. I've only got one Belgian. One Belgian against Slovakia. Again, would maybe like 2 of them. Double Portuguese against Czechia. I quite like that. I think that looks pretty decent. The goalkeeper rotation looks not bad between Verbruggen and Lunin. Obviously, Maatsen might not be nailed. We do know this. We'll wait and see. But I'd like to see him start. DeMarco over Di Lorenzo. Yeah, there you go. That's another way to save 0.5 million. Is there a good 6.5 million midfielder? Maybe I'll do that. Rodri. McTominay. Do you know what? Let me do that right now. Let's downgrade to DeMarco. And then upgrade Xhaka. Rice, another decent one. Sabitzer, and I'm not playing him against France. Could go Rodri. McGinn. Actually really like that. Maybe not for match day 1. Yeah, let's go for Rodri. Xhaka and Di Lorenzo, or DeMarco and Rodri. I think I'll go for Rodri. Let's stick that in. Theo Hernandez. Oh, I forgot about Theo Hernandez. I do like him. I will. Let's leave it at that. Nah, I'm leaving it at that. I quite like that. How much is Dallo? Dallo's the only one I'm not really too sure of. 5 million. 5 million defender. Is Theo Hernandez that price? Is he not a bit more expensive? Grimaldo. If Grimaldo plays, I'm definitely taking him. I think Theo Hernandez is 5.5, isn't he? Yeah. Alright, I'm leaving it at that. Quite happy with that team. Right, let's do this. And then we will have a look at some chip strategies. So continue. Beautiful. Let's just set it up nice. So it looks a bit better. 18th, 15th. Where have we got an 18th player? Bang. 18th, 18th, 18th. Verbruggen. And for Lunin. What do we think? Happy with that? With Portugal having a good opening fixture, Leao at 8.5 million could be a cheap option for a forward. Do you think it would be a starter? I think Leao definitely starts. 100% at left wing. Could be pretty good. Again, it just depends if you want to play the double striker and go for a cheap one. I normally like to keep the 3 strikers. But it depends. It depends what other players you want to go for. Like if you want to have Bruno and De Bruyne, for example, then you're probably going to have to do the 2 striker method. But I think Leao could be good. What about Jorginho? I was talking about Jorginho. I think it looks like he's been taken off the penalties for Italy, so it doesn't look that good of an option anymore at 5 million. Still pretty decent for ball recoveries though. But yeah, I'm going to submit that. That looks lovely. Pick a captain. Doesn't really matter right now, does it? Let's go for Kane. Continue. Enter team name. Oh, pressure. Can I change this? Your team. I don't know if I can change this after it. Oh, I need a Scottish name. I hope I can change this afterwards. Anyone know any good names for Scottish players? I swear I always see a McGinn one and I can't think what it is. Ah, right. I'm really putting too much time into this now. Did I look one up? I'm gonna look one up. Funny fantasy team names. I swear there's a McGinn one. Hold on, here it comes. McGinn and tonic, yeah. Beginner's luck. Oh, might go for that. Let the games begin. Bit cringe. Sorry if that's your team name. Alright, McGinn and tonic it is. I feel like I see that all over the place, but we're gonna go for that for now. Can always hopefully change it. Save, yeah, there you go. Save for now. Right, that'll do. Boom. Team is good. I quite like it. Can come back to this as we go on. Save. Beautiful. 24 days to go. I'll create this mini league when the stream's done, and then I can get everyone to join in on that one. Right. Chip strategy. Let's have a look. Shan't we? So, match day 1 we've got our easy fixtures. Match day 2 is where we'll have a look at some more. So, Switzerland, no one's really bothered about. Croatia, we can add Croatia in here. So, this is where we'll start to add in the good teams. And then look at what kind of strategy we can go for. And let me just copy this. By the way, my computer doesn't let me delete all for some reason, which is annoying as hell. That's why I'm going through them all one by one. Right, match day 2. Croatia. Playing against Albania at home. Green. Spain and Italy probably want to avoid. Germany playing against Hungary we'll add in there. Although I don't think Hungary are really any team to underestimate. Germany against Hungary. Who else is a decent fixture? Serbia against Slovenia. Maybe look at like a Mitrovic. What then? Serbia. God, I can't type. Against Slovenia. Holland playing France. See, this is where it kind of gets difficult. Like, are you really going to be using a Limitless or Wildcard chip and totally missing out on France, Holland, Spain and Italy? No, it's quite difficult in there. Poland against Austria, Austria against Poland. Guess we'll put Austria against Poland. Maybe go for a Sabitzer in there. It's kind of already looking like a decent wild card because the Limitless, you're not really going to be able to afford too many. Ukraine against Slovakia. See, this is where you can go for your picks like Dovbyk. Slovakia. Belgium against Romania. And I think, oh, I've already just typed Lukaku. I think because of the amount of cheap, like these are kind of cheap looking teams. Like Mitrovic isn't going to be that expensive. Sabitzer's not going to be that expensive. Dovbyk's not that expensive. So you could probably look at getting like Lukaku and De Bruyne in here within the normal budget. So straight away, I'm thinking, this is a wild card kind of match day. Who was that were playing? Turkey. Probably triple up on that as well. I suppose you could look at Ronaldo, Bruno, Cancelo there if you're on a Limitless. Czechia against Georgia. It's another green one. Cool. I think that'll do for now. And then match day 3. Germany playing Switzerland. Do you know what? I'll add Germany beside themselves. Hungary against Scotland. I'm going to put them in, sadly. You know, someone like Szoboszlai. Spain against Albania. There's your triple up. Morata, Grimaldo if he plays. Rodri maybe. England against Slovenia. Right, straight away I'm thinking this is pretty straightforward already. Is it? I think it's SLO. This already looks like a pretty decent Limitless match day. Netherlands against Austria. France are playing against Poland. Yeah, I think that looks pretty straightforward already. Netherlands against, it wasn't Poland, it was Austria. France against Poland. Was Austria an orange fixture? It was. Belgium against Ukraine. Was that orange? No, it's green. Wow. Fair. Romania against Slovakia. No one's. Oh, Portugal playing against Georgia. Wow. This is the easiest Limitless chip I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, Georgia. And finally, we'll probably just leave it at that. So, already a massive difference. If you're looking at the big teams, you've got Germany with an orange fixture, Belgium with a green fixture, Portugal with an orange fixture. The rest are going to be pretty cheap players. Matchday 3, Germany, orange, Spain and England and Portugal all with a dark green fixture. Holland, France and Belgium all pretty decent as well. So straight away we're thinking Wildcard, Limitless. Because your Matchday 1 team probably isn't going to consist of too many Serbians, because I'm pretty sure they play against England. Yeah. So you're not going to have too many Serbians. You're not going to have too many Croatians because they play against Spain. Ukraine against Slovakia. Could maybe start with a few Ukraine if you didn't want to. Belgium you would start with. Portugal. Would you start with Portugal? I think you would, wouldn't you? Yep. So you're talking, on a wild card, you're looking mostly at Croatia and Serbia. Again, probably not too many fantastic fantasy assets straight off the bat that come to thinking. So I guess you could maybe get away with keeping the wild card if you were one of those people that do like to keep it for like the semi-finals. I like to use mine in the group stages, so straight away it would be these guys. So let's look at some teams. So if we're wanting to do, let's look at a Limitless in Matchday 3 first. So England, 3 best English players. 3 best English players. We're looking at Kane. Hold on, where is it? Here. Matchday 3 versus Matchday 2. So Kane. Let's move all these to the middle. Playing against Slovenia, which is a dark green fixture. Foden, probably Bellingham as well. Do we think that's the 3 best English players? And then Spain against Albania. I would want Morata. Am I going to put... See, it would be Grimaldo, but don't think he's going to play. Defenders, I guess. I'm going to stick Gaia in there, just because I think he does play left back over Grimaldo, but obviously this could be Grimaldo if you prefer that. Most top teams might already be in the round of 16, might make lots of changes. To be fair, I think most teams are kind of confirmed in the round of 16 because most third place teams go through as well. So you're right, there actually may be some pretty heavy rotation, but I don't know what else you can really do unless you wanted to save something for the round of 16, but I don't think you can even use chips in the round of 16 because of the unlimited transfers before it. So at that point you're really waiting to the quarterfinals, and that's where the fixtures start to get a bit difficult. Who's the other Spain players? Maybe go for the goalkeeper. Yamal. I think Yamal is down as a midfielder. Let's stick Yamal in there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. English players we've got. Portugal players against Georgia. Instantly. Ronaldo. Fernandez. And Cancelo. Belgium against Ukraine. See, you're missing it in Lukaku there, so it depends. And if you want to drop any of these guys, I'm trying to think. And then maybe you could go. I don't know if I want to drop Kane for like Saka, but I guess Ronaldo would probably be the best option. But with the goals that Portugal have been scoring, I don't know if I'd be wanting to do that. So I probably would just leave out Lukaku, go for maybe De Bruyne instead. France against Poland. See, again, you're going to want Mbappe. That's where it starts to get tough. I think I'd take Morata out. But it just shows you though how easy it is to spend the budget here on matchday 3. Defenders, go for Theo Hernandez. Holland against Austria. Dumfries. And then the final defender spot. Who do I want to get it to? Another Spanish player, Carvajal. Let's go for Carvajal. I think pretty good chance Spain keep a clean sheet in that one. And that way we're tripling up. I'm going to leave the goalkeepers now because you can really go wherever you want with the goalkeepers, but whatever the budget is on that, it's going to be a hell of a lot because of these main players. You're talking Hernandez at 5.5, Dumfries at 5.5, Cancelo at 6. Obviously, you would need to have all these players starting. As Tom said, there may be some rotation in this one, which is probably worth keeping an eye out. But that's kind of what happened. Like only 3 match days, it's very difficult for a team to already be through unless they've won their first 2. I guess Portugal's probably up there. France are playing against Holland, so they may draw in that game. So this could even be Ramos. Maybe Ronaldo would get benched in this one. And at that point, if you don't want to go for Ramos, you could go for one of the strikers that we didn't go for, like Lukaku against Ukraine. I do like this though. I think matchday 3 looks like a pretty good one for the Limitless. And then obviously if you're trying to make a Limitless for matchday 2, you're really not going to be filling it with too much budget. England have Denmark, tough game there. France and Netherlands obviously playing each other. Spain and Italy obviously playing each other. So you're going to probably want to be avoiding those games. And you're going to probably find it tough to use your budget, which is why I think a wildcard's probably the best there. Do we want to make a wildcard team? Did the game already come out? Yeah, I think it released about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. It's the same one as the UCL Fantasy app if you have been playing that. If not, it's just UEFA Gaming on the App Store or website. Let's say you didn't want to use the wildcard in matchday 2 and you still used your Limitless in matchday 3. Who can you get? So you would have to go probably for triple Germany in matchday 1. You go maybe double, maybe triple Ukraine, the goalkeeper and 2 attackers possibly. Triple Belgium. Triple Portugal. I think it is probably a viable option if you, like, I know a lot of people, if you play UCL Fantasy, a lot of people struggled to get players for the semi-final because there was so many upsets in the quarter-final, and people that had a wild card were able to do really well then. But I don't know. I don't think it's really worth it, because a wild card in the semi-final is going to be a very, very similar team to most people, especially because you get loads of transfers in between rounds, so you really need to get like gubbed in the quarterfinal to lose so many players that you can't field in 11, because you've got the bench as well, and the bench slowly becomes less and less important as the tournament progresses. Right, let's look at we'll look at a matchday 2 wildcard team. Croatia against Albania. I think Modric is in there. So this would be matchday 2 limit. And so we should go for the double L. Matchday 2 limitless, matchday 3 limitless, matchday 2 wildcard. Midfield, you've got Modric. They're playing against Albania. I think maybe Sosa for Croatia. Sosa and Perisic. Is Perisic still performing? Obviously, I'm pretty sure Perisic has just came back from an ACL injury, so I don't think you can rely on too much form there. How's Budimir or Petkovic? I think this is a 50-50 between these two and who starts, so could even be Petkovic in there. Scored 2 over the qualifiers. I just don't really like too many Croatian players, to be honest. Vardiol, he's not going to be doing the same kind of attack and returns as he is at Man City, because it's a totally different position. Brozovic, pretty decent for the recoveries. Is he getting any assists or anything? Nothing. It's just not that great at all, is it, for Croatia? I guess you'd maybe be loading up on defenders, so maybe Sosa and Stanisic. Is Stanisic getting assists? Not even. Sosa's probably the one in there. Maybe just go for Guardiola. Just go for maybe the goalkeeper. Who's in goals? Livakovic. Right, we'll stick Livakovic in goal. I know I said don't worry about the goalkeeper, but just to have the triple up for Croatia. So we'll go there and we'll go there. Who do I want in goal? Right, who have I not picked here? Albania, Georgia, Poland. Right, France goalie. Who's the France goalie? Magnan. Let's do that. Again, another probably expensive goalkeeper, which is good for the Limitless. And then, just keeping a clean sheet in matchday 3. Matchday 3, Romania, meh. Hungary, Germany, England. I think I've already got triple England. I do already have triple England. Spain, I've already got triple Spain. Just go for the Romanian goalie. Don't want to go on the Romanian goalkeeper in a Limitless though. Let's go for Verbruggen again against Austria. It's quite tough. Go for Verbruggen. Is it? Yeah, it's Austria. I thought it was Australia for a second. Yeah, so we'll go for that. So that's the Limitless team. Croatia there. Germany, you're going to want Germans. You're talking a Limitless, so you are going to have to kind of keep it not too expensive. So we'll go for Metal Stat. I think that's right. That was Hungary. Again, probably Gundogan. And Wirtz. Sosa's absolutely terrible at Ajax, by the way. Okay, maybe we won't go for Sosa then. Let's change that to Stanisic. Stanisic. Or go for Vardiel. Just cause. A Croatian defender. Serbia against Slovenia. I think I'd probably be wanting Mitrovic there. So let's stick him up front. Mitrovic. Gets the green. Can maybe even double up. Go for Vlahovic as well. Vlahovic, Tadic. I'm going for Tadic. I think he looks pretty decent. I mentioned that in the thread as well. Tadic. Slovenia. Kostic. Potentially. I'll leave it at that for now. Austria, can have Sabitzer in there. I think he looks like a pretty decent one. That Poland they were playing. Poland. Defenders. Ukrainian defender, Belgian defender, right, Castagne. If you're just joining the stream, I've noticed a couple people have came in so far. This is the team that we have went for match day 1 off the bat. Obviously just a first draft for now. This is how it's looking. Pretty happy with this team so far. Kind of just went over all the fixtures for match day 1. Now we're kind of just looking at chip strategies. Kind of determined that a Limitless in match day 3 looks like the best option. So we have got this Limitless team here, which we've kind of just put together. Again, fixtures look fantastic. Can see that here. Match day 3 fixtures. We've got Portugal, a good one. Belgium, France, England, Spain. All with really good fixtures. Match day 2 looking more like a wildcard team. Belgium looking okay. Portugal looking okay. But it's mainly your cheaper teams. We're going to be looking for this one match day 2. So kind of just putting some teams together for now if you are just joining us. So Belgium are playing against Romania, so we do want some Belgians in there, which means Lukaku. Probably would want Trossard as well, so we could maybe look at taking one of these guys out, take Wirtz out, and go for Havertz instead. Or, no, let's go for Kimmich instead. I know Kimmich is a midfielder. Havertz. And then, who was the other one I wanted? Trossard or De Bruyne? Go for De Bruyne. I think we should have the budget available to have De Bruyne in there. So that's Romania. And that's Romania too. Bang, bang. Havertz up against Hungary. So that's triple Belgium in there, as you would want. Czech Republic. Who have we got for Czech Republic? Let's have a look. Who was our options? Schick, Suchek. I think Suchek's a decent one. Could go for the goalkeeper and Kovar. Let's do that. I don't know, obviously I'm not going to check if these guys play on the same day. This is just kind of a rough first draft. So if they don't play on the same day, they don't play on the same day. Or they do. Kovar. Can't go for Suchek because we don't have a midfield spot. So many good midfielders. Looking for a defender. A Czech defender. Kufal. Do we want Kufal? Portuguese. Cancelo. Easy. Could just go Cancelo and Dallo at that point. They're playing against Turkey. Boom. I do want another one though. So do we take Sabitzer out and go for... Is this an affordable team? Yeah. 2 cheap goalkeepers. Vardale shouldn't be too expensive. Mitoshad's cheap. 5.56 and 5. So that's really where your money's coming from. Modric is cheap enough. Gudrun's cheap enough. De Bruyne's quite expensive. Tadic is cheap enough. Sabitzer's cheap enough. This is an easily affordable team with the 100 million budget. The only one that you could maybe look at upgrading, I think, would probably be Sabitzer. Sabitzer to Bruno. And that's against Turkey. I think that would probably be a wildcard team off the start. Definitely looks affordable. So the question is, can you have this team in match day 1 if you wanted to try and save that wildcard? Match day 1. Then I'll look at my team that I've got so far and compare it to what it would look like in match day 2. I don't know why I'm so bright, by the way. Can I fix that? How's this? Oh wait, what have I done? Is that too much? Oh, I've just got an ad for myself. Fantastic. That looks way too much. I might just keep on this. See if I can focus the camera a bit more. Right. Matty. Hi, how you doing? When I try going back to my team on the app, it won't bring my team up. I'm not too sure. Mine seems to be working okay. I mean, I'm using the website, so I couldn't tell you. What was I looking at? So this team in match day 1. Croatia in match day 1. See, they play against Spain. See, that's already starting to look a bit dull. Vlakovic, Vardiol and Modric. Scotland at home for the Germans. The Czechs are playing against match day 3 Portugal. See that right? This is. I think if you're gonna want the best possible team, I suppose we've only got one Czech in here, don't we? It's not that bad. Can always go for different goalkeepers, but it's not really looking fantastic. Portuguese are playing against Czech. So So that's green, green, green. Belgians, Ukraine. And Tadic, which is Serbia, playing against England. So that would be the match day 1 team. Obviously you get 3 transfers as well, so you could go, if you were to start with this team in match day 1, in my opinion it's the best match day 2 team. So it's definitely possible. You'd probably be using your 3 transfers to get rid of Mitrovic, Tadic, and you probably wouldn't start with those 2 goalkeepers. So Modric you could keep against Spain. I mean he's still on penalties and stuff. So you could maybe look at just transferring these 3 out with your 3 transfers after match day 2. Or sorry, subbing these 3 in. For match day 2. So if we're to, let's move these over to the side. No, let's move them to the side for now. Modric, Tadic, Mitrovic. And then, who would the match day 1 players be? Who have I got in my team? Probably looking at Lukaku. Simmons. Already got Lukaku, so let's go for Kane against Serbia. And it's gonna have to be a really cheap one in there. So maybe Jorginho. Let's go for Jorginho because we know he's cheap and it's not a bad fixture for Italy off the bat. Jorginho. And he plays against Albania at home in the first round. So let's say for example this would be your starting team. Obviously you probably wouldn't have these 2 goalkeepers, so let's change those goalkeepers about. And we'll change them to the ones that I've got, which is Lunin and Verbruggen. Lunin's up against Romania and Verbruggen Poland. Romania, Poland. So that could be your team. No, because you want to keep Modric and get rid of Vardiol. Right, let's do that. Hold on. So we need another defender. DeMarco. Right. So that's a potential first round team. I've not checked the budget on it, so it might be a bit too expensive. You've got De Bruyne, you've got Fernandes. I mean, let's say it's too expensive because it does look like it could be. Just go for Trossard over De Bruyne. That should bring the price right down on it. So that looks like an affordable team for match day 1. then this is obviously if you don't want to use your wildcard in match day 2, if you want to save it for later in the round, later in the tournament. You have this team, then you sub in Vardiol, Tadic, and Mitrovic for Kane, Jorginho, and DeMarco, and then you end up with potentially the best possible match day 2 team. So it looks pretty good there if you want to. This for me, I think I do just prefer using the wild card, and that way you could just fully focus on match day 1, because obviously this isn't a team fully catered to match day 1. You're missing out on a lot of players, like obviously more English players. Who's got the good match day 1 fixtures? So Italy, Belgium. It's not actually that bad. Like, you still do have Italians, Belgians, Portuguese players in there. So how many Italians? You've got Jorginho, you've got DeMarco, you've got Castagni, Trossard and Lukaku, and you've got Fernandes and Cancelo still. So that's it really does look like a pretty decent option if you wanted to keep the wild card in the back for one of the later rounds. What are we thinking? Has anyone got a preference for your chip strategy so far? I'm liking as much as that does look like a really, really viable pick, I know a lot of people have been saying that they would definitely be keeping their wild card till later rounds, so at least there is the option to do that. But I do still quite like the wild card in 2 and Limitless in 3. That way you're fully just the best team in match day 1, the best team in match day 2, and the best team in match day 3, and you don't have any worries for the later rounds in terms of chips. Obviously with this, you've got not the best team in match day 1, but still a pretty decent team in match day 1, which sets you up perfectly for match day 2 with your 3 transfers. The only issue as well is obviously if anyone gets injured in match day 1, or anyone doesn't play, or rumours come out that they're not in the lineup, you're kind of gubbed. That's just a thing, but you're really well set up for match day 2, and then you can still Limitless in match day 3. This is the best chip strategy. Interesting. It's quite cool. It's good though, because it definitely gives a lot more options. But I 100% think Limitless in match day 3 is the best possible option. I don't really think you're going to be using that anywhere else. You definitely don't use the Limitless in the later fixtures. The Limitless is made for the group stage, because that's where the easy fixtures are. Teams like Georgia and Albania, you're using the Limitless to target those teams. So it's just, do you want to use the wild card in match day 2, or do you want to save it for later? And it's definitely looks pretty decent to do either one of those things, which is good. It's always good to have multiple options, because it means that people aren't going to have the same team all the time, and it kind of opens the game up. Me, I think I'm still swaying towards using the wild card in match day 2, because I don't really like keeping it. It's just something I've always done. I've always used the chips in the early stages, because it's the easier fixtures. But still a very nice option. I don't really think there's too much left to go for. We've looked at the first draft. We've looked at the chip strategies. Can have another look at the team and make sure. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start up a mini league, and then we can get that going. However, I get off of this. Where's the home button? There it is. Right, let's make a mini league. Right, there's the code for anyone who would like to join the mini league. There it is, right there, and I'll get the graphic just above me updated for the next video / stream. But yeah, I don't think there's so much. There's too much else to go over. We've done the chip strategy. We've done the first draft. So I'm gonna have a couple videos out this week. I think it's gonna be different. Well, maybe not differentials, but cheap players. Maybe some ball recovery players who look the best for that. And then just kind of some drafts as we go along. I think obviously we're still 3.5 weeks away from the actual deadline, so there's no real need to go into things too much. Maybe do a couple videos on more updated injury news, stuff like that as well. So I think that might be it for our stream today. Again, mini league code is right there if you want to have a look at it. We've literally been going for nearly 2 hours, so yeah, thank you to everyone that came out. I think I'll just jump onto this screen here. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this went. Things seem to have went pretty smoothly. And again, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat if you're still here, what kind of chip strategy you're going to be going for, which one you preferred, how you felt about the team as well. So thank you for coming out. We're going to end the stream here, and thank you so much for